Oh my goodness, folks. I have some absolutely earth-shattering information that threatens to completely demolish Meghan Markle's carefully constructed image as a devoted mother. Samantha Markle, Meghan's estranged half-sister, has dropped a nuclear bomb on live video that has sent shockwaves through royal circles worldwide. Now, I know you guys are excited for more, but before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, I mean, come on, guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, according to this explosive revelation, Meghan Markle's pregnancies were not real. They were alleged, staged, fabricated, and performed with props and PR to manipulate global sympathy. And if that wasn't shocking enough, a woman known only as DL has come forward claiming to be the actual surrogate who carried both Archie and Lilibet. For years, Meghan has meticulously crafted an image of maternal perfection. The glowing duchess, the modern mother, the woman tenderly cradling her baby bump at every photo opportunity. Those carefully staged photos, those tearful interviews about motherhood, all of it was allegedly designed to build an illusion of authenticity that now appears to be crumbling before our very eyes. What makes this revelation particularly devastating is that it doesn't come from random internet conspiracy theorists. This bombshell comes directly from Meghan's own half sister, Samantha Markle, who, despite being branded as jealous and bitter for years, has now struck back with measured fury and seemingly credible accusations that pierce Meghan's most guarded identity, her claim to motherhood. Samantha didn't just throw out vague accusations or rumors. She specifically called Meghan's pregnancies a charade performed with props and PR, designed to manipulate global sympathy. For years, people dismissed Samantha as a jealous sibling with an axe to grind, but this time her words carried an edge of certainty that shocked even longtime critics of the Duchess. But the story doesn't end with Samantha's accusations. In a twist that nobody saw coming, a woman identified only as DL has come forward with what she claims is proof that she was the surrogate who carried both Sussex children. Unlike random online critics, DL didn't come with gossip. She allegedly came with evidence, including what she claims are hospital bills, medical records, and even a signed non disclosure agreement. DL's statement was absolutely devastating. I was promised privacy and compensation. Instead, I was erased. Meghan wore a fake belly, and the world believed it. Those words hit harder than any tabloid speculation ever could. This isn't just another royal rumor, this is someone claiming direct involvement in what would be one of the greatest deceptions in modern royal history. With DL's testimony now public, old video clips of Meghan have resurfaced online and are being scrutinized with fresh eyes. Clips where her bump appeared to fold awkwardly as she bent over, moments where she seemed to be cradling her stomach with almost theatrical emphasis. What once seemed like the natural pride of an expectant mother now looks suspiciously like the work of an actress desperate to sell an illusion. The infamous moon bump debates that royal watchers may remember have reignited with full force. But this time, they're backed by a woman claiming she was behind the curtain the entire time. The scandals that Samantha Markle unleashed have been amplified by DL's testimony into something that Meghan cannot easily dismiss with her usual accusations of media fabrication. For years, Meghan has positioned herself as the victim of unfair treatment and meticulous lies. But now the accusations have been dramatically turned against her, that she fabricated her very identity as a mother. Millions of people who cheered the births of Archie and Lilibet, who believed the photos and the glowing stories of the Duchess as a devoted mother, now feel potentially deceived. What Meghan painted as a fairy tale now looks like it might be an elaborate fraud. The palace has maintained stone cold silence on these explosive allegations, but in that silence lies suspicion. Critics are pointing out that the royals never fully embraced Meghan's pregnancies in the traditional way. There were no hospital photo calls with senior royals proudly standing, as it is customary with royal births. Now that distance looks potentially deliberate, as though the palace knew there were details better left unspoken. While Meghan has reportedly hardened her tone in response to these allegations, insiders claim Prince Harry is spiraling. Sources say he's furious and frightened, raging at staff, obsessing over media coverage, and demanding that his lawyers find ways to suppress the story. For a man who once positioned himself as a champion of honesty and mental health awareness, Harry now appears unstable, trapped between defending his wife and potentially fearing what might be the truth. Meghan's instinct, according to sources, has been to go on the offensive, instructing lawyers to draft cease and desist letters and threatening lawsuits against anyone repeating Samantha and DL's claims. But legal action creates a dangerous situation for the Sussexes. Court proceedings could potentially force medical records, NDAs, and sworn testimonies into the spotlight. By threatening legal action, Meghan risks making the scandal even bigger and more damaging. This isn't just another bump in Meghan's PR road, this is existential. If DL's claims hold any weight, if even a fraction of the evidence she claims to possess is proven authentic, Meghan's entire brand collapses. No longer the compassionate humanitarian mother, she would be remembered as the Duchess who perpetrated one of the greatest deceptions in royal history, and Harry would be remembered not as Diana's brave son, but as the prince who enabled and participated in the lie. The fallout from these explosive allegations has reportedly left Meghan in fear, Harry in panic, and the public in absolute shock. What once seemed like a fairy tale story of love and motherhood now potentially looks like a carefully constructed illusion designed to manipulate public sympathy and build a global brand. The world is now demanding answers, and the Sussex's usual story of silence, spin, or legal threats may no longer be sufficient to protect them. Because while the scandals fade, betrayal, especially on this potentially massive scale, is never forgotten or forgiven by the public. For the monarchy, these allegations raise potentially serious constitutional questions. The royal family is built on bloodlines, legitimacy, and succession. If there's growing doubt about Archie and Lilibet's origins, then there's doubt about their royal recognition and place in the line of succession. Critics argue that silence from Harry and Meghan isn't protecting their children, it could be putting their royal status at risk. Every day that passes without clear answers from the Sussexes only allows the speculation to grow louder and more damaging. Do Archie and Lilibet really hold their places in the royal line? Is there truth to these surrogate claims? The stakes couldn't possibly be higher for Harry and Meghan as they face this potentially kingdom-shaking crisis. Royal experts suggest the couple now stands at a critical crossroads with limited options. They can continue with silence and legal threats, hoping the story eventually fades. But history shows that silence often looks like guilt to the public. Or they can finally address these allegations directly, risk immediate backlash, and try to rebuild their credibility based on honesty rather than continued illusion. The Sussex strategy so far appears to focus on suppression rather than transparency. Meghan reportedly believes she can fight these allegations with lawyers and threats, while Harry attempts to shut down coverage through anger and intimidation. But history doesn't bend to PR spin, and if these allegations continue to gain momentum, the royal family itself may eventually be forced to take action. What makes this situation particularly explosive is how it threatens to unravel the entire Sussex brand. Since leaving royal duties, Harry and Meghan have positioned themselves as authentic truth tellers fighting against institutional lies. If they themselves have been perpetrating a massive deception about something as fundamental as their children's births, their entire narrative collapses like a house of cards. For royal watchers, the question isn't just about the truth of these specific allegations, it's about a pattern of behavior that increasingly suggests manipulation, calculation, and a willingness to deceive for personal gain. The public that once embraced Meghan as a breath of fresh air in the stuffy royal institution now views her with growing skepticism, wondering what else might be fabricated in her carefully constructed image. The timing of these revelations couldn't be worse for the Sussexes as they struggle to establish commercial relevance beyond royal drama. Their Netflix deal is reportedly in jeopardy, their Spotify partnership collapsed, and Meghan's attempts at building a lifestyle brand have generated more mockery than success. This pregnancy scandal threatens to be the final blow to their already fragile credibility. What's particularly fascinating about this unfolding drama is how it exposes the fundamental contradiction at the heart of the Sussex brand. They left royal life supposedly seeking privacy and authenticity, yet if these allegations contain even a kernel of truth, they could be living a massive public lie about the most personal aspects of their lives. The hypocrisy is absolutely staggering. As this extraordinary royal drama continues to unfold, one thing becomes increasingly clear. Meghan and Harry's carefully constructed narrative is crumbling under the weight of accusations they can no longer easily dismiss. The woman once hailed as the modernizing force in the monarchy now faces questions about whether she faked her own pregnancies for publicity and brand building. And the prince who positioned himself as the honest royal faces growing suspicion that he participated in massive deception. The question now is whether the Sussexes will finally address these allegations head on or continue their strategy of silence and legal threats. Because one thing is certain, this scandal isn't going away, and the longer they avoid direct answers, the more damage it will do to what remains of their public credibility. This could be the crisis that finally defines them forever. Ta ta, and bye for now.